Hello, students. Welcome back. We were studying the first chapter of the book Moments. The name of the chapter was The Lost Child. It is written by Mulk Raj Anand, and we have seen that this boy is very much easily distracted by different things on the way, and but he's obedient also. He's obedient to his parents. So whenever he's seeing some sweets, balloons, or snake charmers music or flowers, he really wants them, but he knows that his parents will give some kind of excuse and not buy it. But the time when he sees the roundabout, he is so excited, and he makes a bold request to his parents that I want to go on the roundabout, but there is no reply from their parents. He turned right side, left side, front, back, all the directions, but there were no parents with him. A full deep cry rose within his dry throat, and with a sudden jerk of his body, he ran from where he stood, crying in real fear. Mother, father, tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce. Now this child was full of horror, full of fear that his parents were not there. He started crying, Mother, father. He started weeping with hot and fierce tears. His flushed face was convulsed with fear. His face was totally twisted with fear. Panic stricken, he ran to one side first, then to the other, hither and thither in all directions, knowing not where to go. Mother, father, he wailed. His yellow turban came untied and his clothes became muddy. Having run to and fro in a rage of running for a while, he stood defeated. So he was just moving here and there randomly, and he was getting collided with people, and he was just wanting his mother and father. His dress became dirty. He was running here and there, he was crying, he was weeping. At little distances on the green grass, he could see through his filmy eyes men and women talking. He tried to look intently among the patches of bright yellow clothes, but there was no sign of his father or mother among these people who seemed to laugh and talk just for the sake of laughing and talking. So what happened that he's running here and there, he's trying to open his eyes, again closing it, again opening to see that his parents are there. He was trying to see that his parents among the group of people, crowds wearing yellow color clothes, but he cannot see people. He can only see people who are laughing and talking for the sake of laughing and talking in the fair. He ran quickly, this time to a shrine. Shrine means a worshipping place to which people seemed to be crowding. Every little inch of space here was congested with men, but he ran through people's legs, his little sob lingering. So the shrine was crowded with people, and it was totally congested, totally jam-packed. But he ran through the people's leg. Mother, father, near the entrance to the temple, however, the crowd became very thick. Men was jostling each other, means hitting each other, heavy men with flashing, murderous eyes and hefty shoulders. So very big people were there, very strongly built people were there, and he was being jostled, he was being pushed by people. The poor child struggled to thrust away between their feet, but knocked to and fro by their brutal movements. He might have been trampled underfoot had he not shrieked at the highest pitch of his voice, Father, mother. So the people might have hit him, and he would have fallen on the ground, and he would be trampled upon. Trampled upon means walked upon. People would have walked on his body. But he shouted so hard, so loudly, Father, mother, that a man in the surging crowd heard his cry, and stooping with great difficulty lifted him up in his arms. How did you get here, child? Whose baby are you? The man asked as he steered clear of the mass. The child wept more bitterly than ever now, and only cried, I want my mother, I want my father. So the child was so small that he did not give any answer. He was simply saying, I want my father, I want my mother. The man tried to soothe him by taking him to the roundabout. Will you have a ride on the horse? He gently asked as he approached the ring. So the man thought that, okay, let me just try to console him, trying to manage him, make him quiet. So he took him to the roundabout and said that, will you have a ride on the horse? But the child's throat tore into 1,000 shrill sobs, and he only shouted, I want my father, I want my mother. The man headed towards the place where the snake charmer still played on the flute to swaying cobra. Now the man has taken the child to that snake charmer where the cobra was dancing on the flute's music. Listen to that nice music, child, he said. But the child has shut his ears with his fingers, and he sang in double sounded voice, I want my father, I want my mother. The man took him near the balloons, thinking the bright colors of the balloon would distract the child's attention and quieten him. But no, the balloon did not attract him. The man asked also, "Would you like a rainbow colored balloon?" The child turned his eyes from the flying balloons and just cried and cried, "I want my mother, I want my father." The man, still trying to make the child happy, bore him to the gate where the flower seller sat. "Look, can you smell those nice flowers, child? Would you like a garland to put round your neck?" So the man was offering that gulmohar garland, but this child did not take any of them. The child kept crying, and he wanted only his father and mother. Thinking to humor his disconsolate charge by a gift of sweets, the man thought that, okay, let me give him some sweets, because he liked burfis and everything. The man took him to the counter of sweet shop. "What sweets would you like, child?" he asked. The child turned his face from the sweet shop and only sobbed, "I want my mother, I want my father." Mulk Rajanand has written this story. It is a very emotional story. It is like this Bollywood films, but unfortunately we don't know whether the child really gets his father or mother or not. But it is very emotional. The child was obedient, the child understood, but the child got distracted by so many things that he lost his parents. I hope you have understood the lesson. If you have any question, you may comment and I'll tell you the answer later. Okay, goodbye, have a great day.